For them, this is how they will line up here. On the pole, it will be out of 11, Missouri, 87, Gabriel Smith, the 7 of Sam Douglas, the 15, St. Charles, Missouri, the Jedrick Sidler, and the 11 of Cohen Murphy out of Jefferson City, Missouri, and the 3 of James Marsh out of Aurora, Missouri. Sam Douglas out in front, the 15, the Jedrick Sidler in second, the 11 of Cohen Murphy in third. Sam Douglas gets the win, the 15 coming on second, 11 Cohen Murphy third, and the 3 of James Marsh in fourth. Green flag is in the air. Now fronts the 23 of Nick Bradshaw. That'll be the 19 of Randy David Heiser, and the 1 of Gary Barrows. Red, 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 guys. Red, red, red. That was a very, very hard hit. We will definitely go to check on this Out front is the 23 of Nicholas Bradshaw, the 19 of Randy David Heiser in second, the 13 of Jaden Smith in third. 2 more laps to go. As right now it is all Nicholas Bradshaw out front in that 23 machine. Oh, Jaden Smith closing in on the 19, but the white flag is in the air one more time around. As coming out of turn number 4, it'll be the 23 of Dick Bradshaw, your heat race winner at the line. It is going to be the 19 right in front of the 13 of Jaden Smith by 0.015. Tony Johnson out front, your leader of the 4 of Devin Russell in that second spot. Here comes Chris Johnson into 00. Aaron Wilkie will slide back to that 4th spot there as most of the drivers are running in that upper lane, but Devin Russell going on the inside. At the line, it was Tony Johnson, but Devin Russell has the advantage going down the backstretch. Russell in that 4 machine has a car length lead on the 01 of Tony Johnson. He'll come around. We've had 2 laps, 2 different leaders with Devin Russell out front, Tony Johnson in second, 00. Chris Johnson moves up to that second spot in front of the 01 of Tony Johnson. So it's Russell, Chris Johnson, Tony Johnson. Here comes the 8 of Aaron Wilkie. Oh, hold on to it, David Jennings. And caution comes out, as David Jennings did finish on that lap. Flag is in the air. Devin Russell out front, that 4 machine. Looking to get a heat race win here tonight. As he's been with us 2 times so far. And he goes up the track, oh no. Problems there for the 4 of Devin as he got the announcer's jinx as the 00 Chris Johnson now takes over out front, your leader. So it's Chris Johnson, Devin Russell, Aaron Wilkie, and Tony Johnson. That running order here. As they come around here, it will be 6 laps in, 2 more laps to go. Devin Russell, he's gaining on that 00 of Johnson. White flag is in the air one more time around. What a season for the 00 Chris Johnson so far this season, as he's looking to carry it on into the 4th race of the season with a heat race win. The 00 Chris Johnson, your winner. The 4 of Devin Russell coming home second, 8 of Aaron Wilkie third, and the 01 of Tony Johnson coming home in Michael Jurgensen out front, the 0, Corey Henson in that second spot. Here comes the 16 of Mike Shaddy. Shaddy ahead of the 0 of Henson. As lap number 1 is going to go to the 88 of Michael Jurgensen with the 16 of Mike Shaddy. Sitting there in second, the 0, Corey Henson in third. Ooh, at the line, it's going to still be Michael Jurgensen out front, your leader. The 16 of Mike Shaddy in second. The 0, Corey Henson in that third spot with the 71 of Don Morant in fourth. Michael Jurgensen out front, the 16 of Mike Shaddy in second, the 0, Corey Henson in third, and the 71 of Don Morant sitting there in fourth. Here comes Shaddy looking on that inside, but Michael Jurgensen still holding him off. 3 more laps to go with Michael Jurgensen out front with a 0.085. Making some contact there on the back stretch as Michael expands the lead a little bit down the front stretch with 2 more laps to go. What a race here in heat race number 2. Here we go. White flag is going to be in the air one more time around. We got a race for the lead between the 88 of Michael Jurgensen and the 16 of Michael Shaddy. Here we go, down the back stretch we go. In the turns number 3 and 4. Who's it going to be? What a finish. Mike Shaddy got loose there. It's going to be Michael Jurgensen carrying the momentum. Michael Jurgensen, your heat race winner. Mike Shaddy coming on second. Corey. Joe Ross out front. Your leader in that 27 machine, the 48 of Jimmy Thone in second with the 70 of Anthony Ross in third. Two laps in, and it's still Joe Ross out front with a time of 15.849. Jimmy Thone with a time of 15.828. Right now it is Joe Ross out there front. As coming to the line, I'll see Joe Ross halfway. 5 laps in, 5 more laps to go. Joe Ross doing a great job out front, holding off the 48 of Jimmy Thone. As has 3 more laps to go, but Joe Ross still out front. Joe Ross closing the door on that 48 machine, but here comes Jimmy Phone on the inside, and we go into turns 3 and 4. As it's going to be the 48 of Jimmy Phone. White flag is in the air one more time around. Checker flag is in the air for the 48 of Jimmy Phone, the 27 of Joe Ross in second, the 7 of Anthony Ross in third. So we're going to throw the white flag here. Checker flag is in the air. So Yvette Eichel went out front. Your leader. Here comes the 4. Josh Hazel moves up that second spot. Chris Tender on the outside of the 27 of Dakota Scribner. 2 laps in. It is Yvette Eichelman out front. Your leader. And the 7 of Rick Morrow goes around, but we're We're staying green. The 70 out front. The 4, Josh Hazel in second. The 27, Dakota Scribner in that third spot. Hold on to it, Jed, as Jed Rogers is a little bit swirly up there in the front. The 5 of Sierra Hermitage, your leader. As Sierra out front in that 5 machine, the 30 of Rogers in second. The 70 of 4 of Don Rogers in that third spot. Here comes the 00 of Coach Bill Brown. 2 laps in, it's still Sierra Herden out front, your leader. The 30 of Jed Rogers. As it'll be Jed Rogers now out front, your new leader. The 5 of Sierra Herden in second. The 74, Don Rogers in that third spot. Jed Rogers out front, the 30. The 5 of Sierra Herden in that second spot with the 74 Rogers in third. 00 Bill Brown in fourth. White flag is in the air one more time around. checkered flag is in the air for 30th Gen Amateurs. The time. JC Newell out front in the 84, the 03 of Ed Mangus right there in second. Here comes the 12 of Ben Scott in that 12 machine. Nice looking machine there on the inside of the 26. Oh, hold on to it, Hayden, as he goes sideways. Green flag is in the air. Ed Mangus out front. Your leader, the 12 of Ben Scott on the inside of the 84 of JC Newell. As it's Ed Mangus, Ben Scott, JC Newell, the 63, and Darren Moyers. Ed Mangus still out front. Here comes Moyers in that 63 machine with a time of 20.117. 4 laps in, 4 more laps to go. It's still Ed Mangus out front. Here comes Scott on that inside, makes contact and goes around. And the caution will come out. Green flag is in the air. Darren Moyers out front to 63, the 03. Ed Mangus in second, the 84. JC Newell in third, the 12. Ben Scott in that fourth spot. Darren Moyers earlier, the 03. Ed Mangus in second, the 84. JC Newell in third. White flag is in the air one more time around. Flag is in the air. Sam Douglas out front in that 7 machine with the 15 of Jedrick Sidler in second. Kellen Murphy in that 11 machine in fourth with the 3 of James Marsh in third. Kellen Murphy right on the back bumper to the 3 of Marsh as it's all Sam Douglas out front. Sam Douglas out front, expanding the lead a little bit, a couple of car links. Murphy looking for a move on the 3 of James Marsh. Right now it is Sam Douglas, Sidler in the 15, Marsh in the 3, Murphy in the 11. Jedrick Sidler in that 15 machine staying right there with Sam. Here comes Murphy trying to make a move on Marsh. Marsh able to close the door. Sam Douglas out front, the 15. Jedrick Sidler in second. Here comes Murphy on the inside of Marsh. In turns 3 and 4, Murphy steps up to that third spot. Sam Douglas out with the lead. The 15 of Sidler in second. The 11 of Kellen Murphy in that third spot. Right now it is all Sam Douglas out front. Here comes Murphy trying to look on the outside of the 15 of Sidler. Right now it is all Sam in the 7. The 15 of Sidler in second. The 11 of Murphy. 2 more laps to go. It's all Sam. 15 of Sidler in second. The 11 of Murphy in third. White flag is in the air. One more time around. Sam Douglas, can he close off? Here comes the 15 on the outside. Sam Douglas on the inside. After one, it's going to be the 7 of Sam Douglas, the 15 of Jedrick Sidler in second, and the 11 of Kellen Murphy. I remember about 10 years ago, Sambo, you were just a little baby, and you'd be in the grandstands, and your dad would be out here on this big track, and I remember Every time he was out front, the white flag was in the air. I'd go over there to your mom, and I would grab you and say, "Come on, Sambo." Oh, my gosh, he shot himself. Okay, all right, let's put that to the side. But, Sam, for myself, buddy, you went through, you were set up there, you're here on the track, and you got your first feature win. How do you feel, man?
You know, I feel very good. And first of all, I want to thank all these drivers. They did an awesome job, and I want to get all the glory to God. I want to thank my dad for just letting us have this opportunity to race. And let's thank my sponsors. Okay. I want to thank Martin's One Stop. Gosh, dang. I'll be spraying confetti. Martin's One Stop, Elle's Photography, my sister. Thank you so much. Ed's Flooring, Mid-Car Keys, Mo, and Douglas Tire and Auto and I-44.
Sam, we started this class this season, 3 races, 3 different winners. Man, it's been getting competitive, hasn't it?
I think it's good for always to have a new winner. You know, just fun.
That guy's excited. You know him?
No.
Hey, well, I appreciate you. And everybody, your Bald and Bougie feature winner, the 7 of Sam Douglas. Green flag is in the air. Nick Bradshaw out front. Your leader to 1 and Gary Barrows in second. Out front is the 23 of Nick Bradshaw, the one of Gary Barrows, right there in second. 4 more laps to go. Gary Barrows right there on the back bumper of the 23 of Nick Bradshaw. Nick Bradshaw trying to hold off the one of Gary Barrows. Gary Barrows right there on the back bumper. Nick Bradshaw will come out of turn number 4. Checkered flag is in the air for the 23 of Nick Bradshaw. The one of Gary Barrows second. The 13 of Jaden Smith in third. 19 of Randy David Heiser in fourth. That the driver of the number 12 Charger, he's on his way back from the hospital. Nothing broken. He's going to come back here and watch some racing action. Story we have witnessed tonight. Nick, on my way down here, I was just telling him that the 12 of Devran, he is on his way back from the hospital. Nothing broken. He's going to come back and watch the races. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you a story about this guy right here. It was last season, opening night. Very, very looking forward to racing this car. Had all the sponsors lined up, and I won't ever forget it. I was walking down to the pit shack, and I was walking in between the restrooms and the pit shack, and I look ahead, and I see Nicholas Bradshaw. I didn't see Nick with a smile. I see Nick with his head down. And I said, Nick, you excited for tonight? And he's doing what he's doing right now. He was crying. And I remember Michael Jurgensen was with him, and he looked up at me, and he said, he can't race. I was like, what do you mean you can't race? He says, the doctors said he can't race. And I don't know the whole details or the naming for it all, but ladies and gentlemen, he went through a procedure, and the doctors gave him the okay to race this season. And ladies and gentlemen, by the grace of God and by the people praying, down here, standing in the victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, is the 23 of Nicholas Bradshaw. Nick, how you feel, man? You hear that, Nick?
Pretty damn good.
Wow, you and Gary had such a great race. Hate it for the 12 car, but man, your time was coming for sure, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I seen him coming out of 3 and 4, trying to pass on the dough. I was like, yeah, I need to chop him and come down and look where I'm at.
Look where you're at. Well, you've worked a lot to get this car going, to get this race program going, so you've got a lot of people to thank.
First, I need to thank 2 people in the pits right now. ShowMeDirt with my Uncle Brian and Scott Atkinson with Atkinson Hayden Farm. They're helping out tonight. What do I do without them? I got Leo Morgan Fencing, Bones Furniture and Lawn, 417 Sports Cars, Ralph Pitt, Shelter Insurance, Rocket Race Cars, DNS Affordable Moving, Keynes Motor, Big David Dionyse, Chris Arbright, Diamond Diesel Repair, that's Michael Jerkson, that's my crew chief. Smoking Joe's, I already said that. Especially J&T Racing, and whoever helps me, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, and 417 Sports Cards, right?
You dang right. That's my dad over in Turn 1. If you haven't been there, it's on East 32. He sells baseball cards, basketball, football, you name it.
He's going to be selling Nick Bradshaw cards before you know it. Nick, you just won a Charger feature winner. What are you going to do next?
You don't want to know.
Okay, all right. Never. Row number 2 on the inside will be the 4 of Devin Russell. On his outside will be the 8 of Aaron Wilkie. Row number 3 on the inside will be the 0 of Corey Hinton. On his outside, the 01 of Tony Johnson. The 71, Don Moran. The 16 of Mike Shaddy. And the 4D of David Jennings. Green flag is in the air. Out front, it's going to be the 00 Chris Johnson. On his outside of the 88 of Michael Jurgensen, the 4. Devin Russell right there on the inside of Michael Jurgensen. As out out front will be the 4 of Devin Russell, the 00 Chris Johnson, the 88 of Michael Jurgensen, and the 8 of Aaron Wilkie in that 4th spot. Devin Russell out front, and your leader, the old 00 Chris Johnson in second. The 88 of Michael Jurgensen sitting there in second. Third, Aaron Wilkie in the 4 spot, looking on the inside of Jurgensen. Sparks coming out underneath the 4 of Devin Russell. 00 Chris Johnson in second. 88 of Michael Jurgensen in that 3rd spot. Aaron Wilkie on the inside of Jurgensen. Side by side down the back stretch they go. Right now it is Russell out front. Chris Johnson in second. Aaron Wilkie racing hard with the 88 of Michael Jurgensen. Coming down the line here, the front stretch. 10 more laps to go. Devin Russell with a 3 to 4 car length lead on the 00 Chris Johnson. Aaron Wilkie in that 3rd spot. Michael Jurgensen in the 88 in 4th. Nine more laps to go. Right now, Devin Russell running the same line lap after lap. Chris Johnson trying to play catch up. Coming out of the line, 7 more laps to go. Chris Johnson with a 17.869. Devin Russell with a 17.747. Chris trying to break it in here and catch up to that 4 car. The 8 of Aaron Wilkie sitting in 3rd. Here comes Jurgensen. Reeling in the 8 of Wilkie. Here we go. Down the front stretch they go. Devin Russell out front. Chris Johnson is 00 and 78 of Aaron Wilkie in 3rd. Down the front stretch, 4 more laps to go for the 4 of Russell. The 00 Chris Johnson in 2nd. The 8 of Aaron Wilkie in the 3rd spot. The 88 of Michael Jurgensen getting loose there in turn number 2. 3 more laps to go for the 4 of Devin Russell. Devin Russell in that 4 machine with 2 more laps to go. White flag is in the air 1 more time around. This season, tonight, we've seen 1, 2, 3 first-time winners this season. Devin Russell getting the feature win. Chris Johnson coming home 2nd. The 8 of Aaron Wilkie 3rd. The 8 of Michael Jurgensen 4th. And Mike Shaddy in the I said, hey, what happened in that heat race? You said your steering wheel locked up, and it finally gave in, and you was able to get it back onto the track. But, man, that feature. Lap 4, you were sitting in the 3rd spot, and then on lap 5, you took the 1st spot. Tell us about it, man. What was going through your head?
So this is obviously a new car. Last week we had a bunch of problems with it. Carburetor did not work. So this was the very first night we actually got to shake down this car and see what it did. And I was so surprised with how well this car would turn into a corner. It's just like driving a Cadillac. I mean, this car is smooth. And so I was like, I'm just going to be patient, see what they do. They were driving pretty hard, getting screwed up there on the racetrack. So I just hugged the bottom, got a bottom line working, and after that, the rest was history.
You guys hear that? He's sweating to death, and he said it's just like driving a Cadillac. You guys ever drive a Cadillac and sweat like this? I haven't. Devin, hey, we appreciate you, man. This street stock class, it's getting competitive, ain't it?
Yes, it's getting very competitive with these motor rules that we have now. We're able to put guys in this class now, so it's good competition and everything. You definitely got to be on your A game.
How big?
How big the motors?
Yeah.
This one's probably making 5+, easy.
Will we find out tonight?
I will never tell how much this power.
Okay, all right. Hey, anybody you want to thank?
Speed Oil, C&M Gearworks, Kirk's Collision, Sheldon's Custom Mufflers.
Week, and we'll be back on June the 14th for the Steve Holt Memorial Faster Pastor Race Worship Night. I also want to thank our great sponsors. Jimmy Phone out front in the 48. Here comes the 91 of Dylan Bates on the inside of the 27 of Joe Ross. Side by side for second as Dylan Bates jumps up to that second spot. Joe Ross in the 27 in third. The 7 of Anthony Ross in the 7 machine. The 99 of Justin Blake. And then the 77 of Don Moran. Justin Blake out front in the 48. Dylan Bates in the 91 in second, the 27 of Joe Ross in third. It's all about the tire and time game. Jimmy Phone out front. The 91 of Dylan Bates in second. The 27 of Joe Ross in third. The 7 of Anthony Ross in fourth. Jimmy Foe with a time of 15.499. Dylan Bates with a time of 15.811. Jimmy Foams in the lead out front. The 91 to Dylan Bates in second. Dylan Bates in that second spot for 48 of Jimmy Foam out front. Jimmy Foam in the 48. Dylan Bates in the 91 in second. Thirteen more laps to go, and it's all Jimmy Foam out front. Jimmy Foam about to catch up to the field. The 91 to Dylan Bates in second. Still Dylan Bates in that second spot for 48 of Jimmy Foam out front. More laps to go with Jimmy Foam out front. Dylan Bates trying to catch up some ground. Dylan Bates with a fast time with a 16.143. Jimmy Foam with a 16.212. Jimmy Phone in the 48 going into turns 3 and 4. Out of 4, white flag is in the air one more time around. Jimmy Phone coming out to turn number 4. Checkered flag is in the air. 91 to Dylan Bates coming home second. The 7 to Anthony Ross coming home. The race, you know, this season it's been between 2 drivers so far. It's between Dylan Bates and you. And both nights, Dylan Bates has won twice, you've won twice, but there's hardly been nobody around you. So it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna come down probably to that last race. It's like football. Who has the ball last, the final drive?
Well, we're kind of going back and forth here. First off, before we go any further, I want to thank my sponsors here. I know I got a new sponsor this week, and they are in the house. We got Smith's Dash. They're a trash service locally here in the Lebanon area. And on board. Check, check. There we are. Anyway, I want to welcome them aboard. We got the Ben Depot here in Lebanon. We got Brian West Heating and Cooling out of the lake area. Of course, Benny for Pennies. We're all familiar with Mr. Ward, aren't we? All right. CR Creative Vinyl. That's my good buddy Chad. And, of course, everybody at JDF2 Motorsports. And that's, first off, my family, you know, my wife, my dad, Jim Duckworth. I want to thank Jim a lot. I mean, Jim is there, helps me a bunch. Of course, we got Benny. Justin Blake, good buddy of mine. We are struggling this year to get him going. I mean, he's a heck of a competitor. But Justin, actually, I'm going to give credit to Justin and Benny and my son and Dylan. I don't want to forget Dylan. Dylan Hollinger, he's a part of our team as well, but they got me fast tonight, and I think I'm about done. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight as well. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your Hilltop Ranch late model feature winner. It is the 48 of Jimmy Phone and Smith's. We're staying green. Coming to lap number 1. It's going to be the 70th of the event. Eichelman. It's going to be the 30th. Jed Rogers of Josh Hazel. Here comes the 03 of Ed Mangus in the 03. Yvette Eichelman in that 70 machine out front. Here comes the 4 of Josh Hazel. 13 laps to go. Oh, hold on to it. Green flag is in the air. Almost 3 wide for the lead, but right now it's Jed Rogers out front. Yvette Eichelman in the 70, sitting there in second. Here comes the 63 of Darren Moyers. He's looking the way get into the top 5. But right now it's all Jed Rogers out front. Yvette Eichelman in the 70 in second. The 4 of Josh Hazel in third. The 03 of Ed Mangus in fourth. Jed Rogers out front, the 70 of Eichelman in second. Josh Hazel in the 4 in third. Jump. Green flag is in the air. Look out, here we go. Here comes the 12 of Ben Scott and the 63 of Darren Moyers and the 74 of Don Rogers. Oh man. Things are going to hit up here very quickly. Josh Hazel in the 4 to 30 of Jed Rogers out front, your leader. Jed with a faster lap on that one. We come up to the front stretch. It's going to be 5 more laps to go. Sierra trying to hold off the 63 of Darren Moyers there for that 4th spot. Right now it's all Jed Rogers in the 30. Josh Hazel in the 4. The 70 of Yvette Eichelman in 3rd. White flag is in the air, 1 more lap to go. Coming out turn number 4, checkered flag is in the air for the 30 of Jed Rogers, the 4. Josh Hazel in second, the 70 of Ed Eichelman in 3rd.
she had a good start there at the beginning and got out in front of me, and without that caution, I don't think I'd have got around her. She really had a hot rod tonight.
Man, this class, 19, I believe, or 21 2 weeks ago, 18 this week. Still working on some more. This class is growing, and the competition is getting better and better and better.
The good thing about this class is all these cars are equal. Every one of them's the same. We got the same motor. We got same everything. So it puts it at the driver's hands.
Anybody you want to thank?
Lebanon Car Fab, Paul's Towing, Williams Welding, and I think that's it.
All right. Well, Jed, congratulations on another feature win this season and expanding that point lead. Ladies and gentlemen, your Bramble Springs Bakery Crown Vic feature winner. Oh, yeah. You hear it? Yep. All right, well, on behalf of everybody here at Lebanon 944 Speedway, thank you all for being here tonight. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Don't forget, we'll be back here on June 14th for the Steve Holt Memorial Faster Pastor Worship Night. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Drive home safely. We'll see you next time right here at the high banks of Lebanon I-44 Speedway. Salute.